In individuals, insanity is rare, but in groups, parties, nations, and epochs, it is the rule. Without music, life would be a mistake. I'm not upset that you lied to me. I'm upset that from now on, I can't believe you. That which does not kill us makes us stronger. And those who were seen dancing were thought to be insane by those who could not hear the music. Sometimes people don't want to hear the truth because they don't want their illusions destroyed. The man of knowledge must be able not only to love his enemies, but also to hate his friends. We should consider every day lost on which we have not danced at least once. The individual has always had to struggle to keep from being overwhelmed by the tribe. If you try it, you will be lonely often, and sometimes frightened. But no price is too high to pay for the privilege of owning yourself. He who has a why to live for can bear almost any how. The snake which cannot cast its skin has to die. As well, the minds which are prevented from changing their opinions, they cease to be mind. The surest way to corrupt a youth is to instruct him to hold in higher esteem those who think alike than those who think differently. Thoughts are the shadows of our feelings, always darker, emptier, and simpler. Faith, not wanting to know what the truth is. A thinker sees his own actions as experiments and questions, as attempts to find out something. Success and failure are for him answers above all. The true man wants two things, danger and play. For that reason he wants woman as the most dangerous plaything. There are no beautiful surfaces without a terrible depth. I am a forest and a night of dark trees, but he who is not afraid of my darkness will find banks full of roses under my cypresses. Be careful, lest in casting out your demon, you exorcise the best thing in you. There are two different types of people in the world, those who want to know and those who want to believe. All things are subject to interpretation. Whichever interpretation prevails at a given time is a function of power and not truth. You must be ready to burn yourself in your own flame. How could you rise anew if you have not first become ashes? All I need is a sheet of paper and something to write with, and then I can turn the world upside down. Invisible threads are the strongest ties. The visionary lies to himself, the liar only to others. They muddy the water to make it seem deep. To predict the behavior of ordinary people in advance, you only have to assume that they will always try to escape a disagreeable situation with the smallest possible expenditure of intelligence. I know of no better life purpose than to perish in attempting the great and the impossible. To live is to suffer. To survive is to find some meaning in the suffering. Nothing on earth consumes a man more quickly than the passion of resentment. The author must keep his mouth shut when his work starts to speak. All great things must first wear terrifying and monstrous masks in order to inscribe themselves on the hearts of humanity. As long as you still experience the stars as something above you, you lack the eye of knowledge. My solitude doesn't depend on the presence or absence of people. On the contrary, I hate who steals my solitude without, in exchange, offering me true company. Be careful when you cast out your demons that you don't throw away the best of yourself. It is impossible to suffer without making someone pay for it. Every complaint already contains revenge. There is an old illusion. It is called good and evil. You say I, and you are proud of this word. But greater than this, although you will not believe in it, is your body and its great intelligence, which does not say I, but performs I. There will always be rocks in the road ahead of us. They will be stumbling blocks or stepping stones. It all depends on how you use them. He who fights too long against dragons becomes a dragon himself, and if you gaze too long into the abyss will gaze into you. It is nobler to declare oneself wrong than to insist on being right, especially when one is right. Most people are far too much occupied with themselves to be malicious. And so onwards, along a path of wisdom, with a hearty tread, a hearty confidence. However you may be your own source of experience. He who obeys does not listen to himself. You have your way, I have my way. As for the right way, the correct way, and the only way, it does not exist. In heaven, all the interesting people are missing. Every deep thinker is more afraid of being understood than of being misunderstood. That which is done out of love is always beyond good and evil. Today, as always, men fall into two groups: slaves and free men. Whoever does not have 2/3 of his day for himself is a slave. Whatever he may be, a statesman, a businessman, an official, or a scholar. A thought, even a possibility, can shatter and transform us. Hope, in reality, is the worst of all evils, because it prolongs the torments of man. Is life not 1,000 times too short for us to bore ourselves? Talking much about oneself can also be a means to conceal oneself. Distrust all in whom the impulse to punish is powerful. But it is the same with man as with the tree. The more he seeks to rise into the height and light, the more vigorously do his roots struggle earthward, downward, into the dark, the deep, into evil. Whenever I climb, I am followed by a dog called Ego.